stress is an unavoidable part of life, but when you have a serious mental illness like schizophrenia, it's even more important to take steps to control it. Stress can trigger psychosis and have other negative impacts on emotional well-being. Here, 7 stress-fighting tips to help you thrive when you have schizophrenia. Stress fighter number 1. Self-care. Self-care is the best way to cope with stress, says peer counselor and mental health advocate Ashley Smith. Ashley was diagnosed with schizophrenia in 2017 after stress triggered a scary episode of psychosis. After an episode of psychosis, the brain needs time to heal. For Ashley, that meant making some simple lifestyle changes. She started eating a healthy diet, added regular exercise to her day, working with a therapist, and taking her medication as prescribed. "I find wellness by keeping the stress away," she says. "For me, it's a combination of a 10-minute walk around my neighborhood, working out 2 times a week in the gym, watching what I eat, and staying focused on my well-being. It's not complicated, but it works." House cleaning is another go-to stress reliever for Ashley. "Believe it or not, I find a lot of satisfaction in cleaning my house," Ashley says. "I think it helps to focus my mind and provides a sense of accomplishment that seems to help minimize the stress." Stress fighter number 2. Get moving. Exercise isn't just good for your heart, it's good for your head. There is a growing amount of research linking the benefits of exercise with improved symptoms of schizophrenia. Schizophrenia can impair cognition. Exercise can improve it. It may have to do with something called brain-derived neurotrophic factor, BDNF, a protein released during aerobic activity that stimulates the hippocampus, where long-term memories and learning take place. In a small study of people with schizophrenia, researchers found BDNF increased by 35% in groups that did the cognitive training along with physical exercise. Squared cubed, it gives the brain a boost cognitively in a way that alleviated depression and anxiety in the study participants. Experts recommend 30 minutes of exercise at least 5 times a week to reap the cognitive benefits and assist with the weight gain that is unfortunately associated with the antipsychotic drugs prescribed to help with schizophrenia symptoms. Stress fighter number 3. Eat a balanced diet. People with schizophrenia have higher rates of cardiovascular disease, obesity, and reduced mortality. To the Power of 4, Benny Martin, Ph.D., is a treatment psychologist at the Department of State Hospitals in Atascadero, California, where he treats people with different types of mental health challenges. Daily exercise releases tension and is critical for people with schizophrenia because stress most definitely can trigger psychosis, he says, adding that, if you have balanced eating habits, balanced sleep, and balanced exercise, you can take care of yourself. Not sure how to start eating better? This age-old advice bears repeating. Stick to the perimeter of the grocery store for the healthiest options. That's where you'll find wholesome, unprocessed food. Stress fighter number 4. Work with a therapist to help you find meaning. African Americans are 20% more likely to experience serious mental health problems than the general population, yet hesitant to seek mental health care, according to a recent study. To the Power of 5, stigma and lack of access account for much of that, but experts say pharmacological treatments alone aren't enough to treat the complexities of schizophrenia. Dan Lewis is a certified school psychologist and psychoeducational consultant, owner of Matters of the Mind and Heart,
a resource for mental health services. Lewis introduces her clients struggling with serious mental health issues to therapy, a treatment modality that helps them find meaning in their lives, another essential component of wellness, she says. Taking care of the whole person is essential. Lewis explains. She says visiting a therapist to help you care for your mind is the mental health equivalent of seeing a primary care physician to help you care for your body. Everyone can benefit from getting a mental health checkup.
Stress fighter number 5. Find your peeps. Therapy and medication are important pieces of Ashley's recovery, but peer support is what got her through her darkest moments. I've been fortunate to be in contact with people who are passionate and enthusiastic about recovery, and a great network of peers,
Ashley says, adding that she hasn't experienced any hallucination or delusions in more than 3 years. Lewis helps her clients recognize stress and stress trigger points and counsels them to reach out to people they trust. When they don't feel they have things under control, we develop a safety plan for those times, and that includes reaching out for support when things feel like they are spiraling out of control, Lewis explains.
Stress fighter number 6. Try mindfulness. Lewis regularly recommends mindfulness to her clients to help them cope with stress. And science backs up the practice, too. In a small study of men with schizophrenia, practicing mindfulness was linked to improvement in schizophrenia-related hallucinations and delusions. To the Power of 6, Lewis describes mindfulness as a state of relaxation where you quiet your mind and body and allow the thoughts to flow without judging yourself. Meditation helps you recognize how your mind feels and how your body feels. It can give you the ability to become aware when something triggers you, she explains. Our body is always going to tell us when something is off, and a lot of times, we ignore it. Stress fighter number 7. Seek spirituality. Black communities have a long tradition of finding strength and peace in the church. Andrea Chase is a Christian counselor with 10 years of experience in the U.S., Trinidad and Tobago. She says bringing God into the equation gives some people great hope. Childhood trauma, parenting, and genetics can result in mental illness, but only God can fix a soul, Chase says. Ashley Smith, who doesn't currently belong to a church but was raised Christian, considers herself a spiritual person. She credits her faith for helping her stay on top of her symptoms and says praying calms her nerves. I take time every day to center myself, Ashley explains. I listen to and engage in a lot of motivational and inspirational talks to help redirect my thoughts. Smith and Chase say there is power in reciting spiritual affirmations. Smith uses them to keep her outlook positive and to help her connect to a higher power. Chase says faith and spirituality can provide a sense of peace, purpose, and forgiveness, an ideal combination in times of stress.